afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another little Propagandacast addendum video. In this case, covering a different game. In this case, Day of Infamy recently released, made from a mod for, I think it was called the Insurgency mod. Well, mod for the Insurgency game. Sort of made it now actually out as its own sort of separate game, basically a World War II sort of multiplayer game, though it sort of has, I think, sort of single player bit with sort of just shoot down bots on multiplayer maps, but overall sort of multiplayer-ish, I think, sort of largely based on Day of Defeat, just with more elements to it, really. More advanced classes, if you will, with greater degrees of customization between them. Oh, hello. There's a grenade, isn't there? Whoops. Sorry. Detonation grenade, the number 69. Take that, you Scots bastard. Oh, geez, I got shot. So there you go. The game is based around waves. That is, a bit like, some games have tickets. You've got waves, every new person that dies, then has to be put out on a wave. So there's usually a bit there going on. You then regain waves, or some gain waves, but then sort of ceasing points, which are usually sort of scattered across the map, depending on the mode of which there are currently 3 or 4. They'll sort of, some can be taken. In other cases, sort of like more static. One has a massive reserve waves, the other one has to push forward to gain points, and that way build upwards. So that way the different modes do offer different play styles. There's front lines with sort of the usual, one attacks, one defends. There's liberation, we have to get all 3 points at the same time. There's front lines for the sort of, well, it's a bit the same, but there's a radio point in the end. There's sort of more linear progress as for liberation. You can just sort of take the points willy-nilly. So in theory, you could sort of flank about and do whatever you want. There's also smoke. In fact, smoke is a quite important bit. There's even an officer who can call in artillery. In fact, I'm playing the officer currently. And that requires sort of as part of the game here, you actually get close to the support class. That little fellow there, you can see the sort of special icon there. That's a support class. He has a radio backpack on. I use that to call in artillery. Of course, the tricky bit is most people just keep running around like a regular FPS. That kind of sort of makes it a bit difficult to call it in. And in some cases, you just don't get it all. In terms of maps, you've got a bunch here. You've got Suxan, Basdon, Dog Red, Ortona, Komachu, Sicily. List goes on. You sort of vote through them. I think the game is based on the Source engine, by the way, so not exactly something that huge is there. But overall, a series sort of, different map types there to sort of go on. Game types, and again a lot of sort of choices. Also in gun initiation classes, you've got 3 armies just down the road, but overall it's a pretty fun game. I'd sort of describe it as somewhere between Day of Defeat and Red Orchestra 2. That is, it's not quite so simplistic as Day of Defeat, but it's definitely not quite as hardcore as Red Orchestra 2 is either. It's sort of in between there, aiming more towards Red Orchestra 2. Note here in this how I sort of customize the class. You have weight, and then also choose about here. For example, you can see how much weight, for example, this have. Pistols, you can sort of choose between them. Grenades, and also sort of kits, for example, allows you to carry more grenades or more ammo, for example. So again, that means you got more stuff of that, though of course it does then weigh more. So that is a little detail there to keep in mind as well when you sort of play through. There you go, MP40. Got a PPK here. The pistol of choice for the German army. And there you go, radio guy ahead of us. Officers can call in artillery, regular kind, and smoke artillery can crouch. You can set up bipods. And overall, there's sort of a large selection of games. The Germans have the assault rifles, MG34, 42, Kar-98Ks, Gewehr-43s, MP40s, the pistols there as you saw. A bunch there going on. The Allies, for example, get access to shotguns, Thompsons, and so on. Then you can customize some of their guns if there's options for that. You also got rifle grenades, flamethrowers, Panzerfausts, bazookas. I mean, there's a lot going on there, really, and all something that sort of each ensures the different armies, have something to go on. Again, the British, for example, have the number 69, detonation grenade there, for example. The Germans will have all the German goods, and the Americans, freedom. Or something like that. Some of the maps overall are perhaps a bit sort of favourite towards one side. For example, the typical D-Day map, which is probably a bit easier to hold for the Germans, even if they're not as particularly organised, more organised than, say, the attacker there. For example, that could probably do with a bit more work. But overall, it's a game that's sort of very much dependent on teamwork. The problem is it doesn't really do much to actually, reward it or encourage it, which gets a bit awkward. But smoke, for example, is a big part there. For example, you want to get smoke down, of course, if you can. Call down some smoke barrages as well. Ah, damn it, I need the radio. Where like radio got? There we go. Also, the calling in it, I think, is a bit awkward at the moment. You have to get close, and then you have to aim at it, and then you have to call it in. I mean, I had to bound it to the hotkeys, but the thing is, you have to sort of use a very, I think, cumbersome sort of bit there. You have to click on it twice and then do it. It's, it's a bit awkward there. I mean, it did prefer in sort of Red Hawk 2 is sort of had to, get a map and something that's a bit more sensible. In this case, I'm calling in smoke artillery to sort of smoke up the position. Could also call in regular artillery. One neat trick, of course, is that the Allies and German artillery sound differently, so you'll know if it's a German one because Nebelwerfer, you know what a Nebelwerfer sounds like in the American sort of regular howitzers and stuff there. So there's sort of some differences there. Of course, there's also a lot of voice work there going on. Ceasing Punkt Bertha, Kesa, and so on there. Take that, you Tommy wankers. Oh, I'm dead. Well, you look at that. But again, there's a lot of this sort of tactical gameplay. It's not just, run up there. But at the same time, it's not really, I would say, as punishing as Red Orcs 2 can be, and also the maps are generally smaller, so it doesn't quite feel as a huge slog either. It sort of manages, I think, and also setting a pace and tempo. Of course, the game doesn't look very great. It's not based in, say, the Unreal Engine, like I think it's, Battalion 1944, which is also coming up, though we've got no idea where it is. I mean, that's also one advantage a day of Infamy has. It actually is here compared to every other competitor. And so far, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, again, maps need some rebalancing. There's some bits here and there that probably could do some more work. And who knows, of course, down the road, there might be more fun stuff to come. They've got plenty of servers, though generally you'll have a bit of a hard time finding one that has room in it. Otherwise, they'll be almost empty. It's a bit, here and there. But overall, I'd never have a huge issue finding a game. Though, of course, it might be a bit tricky to find a game to play Germans in. Get back here, you blighter. Need to call in some smoke again on those bleeding Inslaven. So yeah, there's a lot there going on, and overall it's a lot of fun. I would say I'm overall actually enjoying this quite a bit there. Again, it's easy to get into, and there's a lot going on. There's sort of a lot of room there for the different classes to sort of stand out on. I mean, there's a lot of variety in the weapons. The support class, for example, can swing between both being sort of a bit assault, regular rifleman, or being a machine gun. And of course, it doesn't say get access to the MG42, but it does get to the MG34. And in that regard, I do think I prefer the MG34 personally, since it's a bit bloody easier to aim. But there you go. A lot of smoke there. That's a good officer. Calling a lot there. Take that. Oh, damn it. Keep seeming to screw up there. Bit unfortunate. I'm pretty sure I shot in their faces, but go figure. But overall, I thought this should give you sort of general idea of what, Day of Infamy is somewhat about. Taking points, shooting the other guys, playing tactically, advancing sensibly, using smoke, or calling in smoke, using someone else's smoke. There's a lot there going on, and when you sort of get a good team together, the game is pretty damn fun. In particular, the other team is also pretty good. In this case, we lost. That happens probably because our team wasn't that clever. Despite, me making great use of smoke, they didn't really have the mental presence to utilize it. Of course, you also got the usual boats there going on, I guess, as well. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Again, also to point out, the voice acting is kind of neat. Obviously, what I could also do with it work there, of course, the models here. I mean, with the Allies, you get sort of a bit of difference there. But, I mean, the Germans won. They are pretty much just all a clone army. I mean, not even the officer stands out there a bit. So, I mean, that could be something a bit fun there to consider as well down the road. And obviously, the bigger question is, what is the developer's plan? The game is currently, I think, roughly $20 or euros. Oh, I don't know, Disney bucks. I don't know what you call it nowadays. Obviously, whatever country you're residing in. But there's a lot there to sort of go on. And again, you get a bunch of maps, modes, armies, and things to do, and overall the game is pretty fun to play if you really just want a pretty competent World War II shooter. I'd say Day of Infamy is a pretty good choice to go for. So hopefully you like this video, and hopefully this will make you interested in the game, in which case you have again, you can get it off Steam, $20. Early access though, so who knows what will also come. This is definitely not a final product, far from it. Oh shit, I got shot. But so far the track record seems positive, so yeah. Again, hope you like this, and if you did, subscribe, like, share, and of course, if you like the game or might find it interesting, feel free to buy it, or if you've got further questions, do ask them in the comments, and I shall try to answer. This is Imperial Dane signing off. Cheers.